Good morning again. It's now 6:28. The Killeen Independent School District is making some much-needed improvements after getting word that they are receiving $2 million. The district received the money through the Federal Impact Aid Program because the children whose parents are of federal employees. Kathleen Correa explains.
The Killeen Independent School District is $2 million richer, according to adjustments in the Federal Impact Aid Program. KISD Superintendent Dr. Clarence Ham says 65% of the district's enrollment is children of federal employees. Because of that high enrollment, the district's tax base is thrown off. In fiscal year 81, the federal government cut funding for the Impact Aid programs almost in half. At that time, KISD suffered a loss of almost 25% in federal aid. However, severely impacted school districts were allowed to file applications to receive additional funding.
Now, 2 years later, we have been notified that it was successful in FY83, which brings our impact aid payment for FY83 up from about $4.5 million to about $6.7 million, which is approximately where it was before it had been cut.
Ham says he's not sure why the fiscal 83 application was accepted, but he believes the district dropped well below the aid level. With the additional $2 million, Ham says the money can be used in the building of 2 new elementary schools, along with expanding classrooms on other campuses. He says the school board will put the money to good use. The school district will continue to apply for future additional funding, but Ham says it might be a few more years before it will receive another supplement.
The amount we've already received in FY84 and take the 2 payments for FY83, they're about equal, so it's probably not likely that we'll get an additional payment for FY84.
Kathleen Correa, Region 10 News, Killeen.
Battle lines are already drawn in the upcoming long-distance service wars. New companies are fighting with AT&T for those profitable phone-addicted customers. Tom Cassidy reports.
The invisible hand of equal access is now ready to try and shake up America's romance with long-distance telephone service, getting phone users around the country to choose their long-distance carriers. Right now, the contest is in skirmish stage, but that'll change fast. Charleston, West Virginia is where AT&T and its competitors are now fighting it out, but within a year, 50% of the country will be facing a similar selection decision, rising to 80% by September of 1986.
If you go switching back and forth again and again, it's going to cost you money to switch back and forth. So there will be a cost to it. In other words, if you sign up with Carrier X and you determine the service is simply not good, maybe it's really not good, maybe you just don't, you think it's not good, then you go back to your telephone company and say, I want to change. The telephone company will say, fine, we'll let you change. Here's the bill.
Right now, the battle is largely being fought out in the mailbox, where many of AT&T's competitors like MCI, Sprint, Western Union, ITT, and Satellite Business Systems are trying to outmaneuver Ma Bell, targeting chatty phone users with expensive long-distance phone habits.
Most telephone users in this country don't even know yet that they're scheduled to make that choice of a long-distance carrier, but over the next year that could change fast, and 1 out of every 2 customers has to make the choice. And because of that, AT&T and its competitors are planning aggressive direct mail and advertising campaigns. Tom Cassidy, CNN, New York.
The time now is 6:32. Good Morning Central Texas continues after the community calendar of events.
Prestidigitator, Prestidigitator, First Federal's 24-hour total teller. With your Prestige card, you can make deposits or get cash 24 hours every day.
The White Elephant Discount Store in Gatesville is the place for name brand boots and western wear at true discount prices. Wrangler Cowboy Cut Jeans, $13.99. Wrangler Big and Tall Men's Shirts, $11.99 to $14.99. Boys Wrangler Denim Jackets, $11.99. 200 Beaver Felt Hats for under $40. Lizard Boots, $119.95 to $149.95. Sharks, $79.95. Georgia Work Boots, $39.95. True factory discount prices at the White Elephant Discount Store in Gatesville.
This is the new taco salad from Taco Bell. The salad in a bowl. You can eat.
The precious things from Taco Bell, served up in a flaky flour shell.
That's my bowl.
Taco salad, ooh, what a treat.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat the bowl.
Just made for you in a bowl you can't eat.
Oops, all gone. Guess you'll just have to try one for yourself. You know where.
Taco Bell, it's just made for you.
Celebrate the loving touch. Weekdays.
Welcome back on this Tuesday morning. 35 minutes now past the hour of 6 o'clock. Here we are approaching the holiday season. 21 days away from Christmas, followed 7 days later by New Year's, a joyous time of the year. But unfortunately, there are going to be people that are going to be attending parties, and they're going to have drinks, and they're going to say to their friends, I can drive home. Some don't even need the excuse of a party to get in a vehicle while intoxicated. A very serious matter, but sometimes, unfortunately, as we learned early this morning, the courts have a tendency to be lenient toward the person who has been convicted of hurting somebody while driving intoxicated. Meet once again from left to right, two people involved with MAD. They're Jane Wood and Judy Butler. And in case you don't know what MAD stands for, it stands for Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. And Jane and Judy, once again, thank you for being here. I know that it's difficult to talk about the things we're talking about. But Jane, do people really understand the horror and the trauma that comes with losing a son because of some, well, I'm going to say it, because some idiot is driving while intoxicated?
No, people don't realize the seriousness. I didn't realize it myself until it happened to me. And I think it must be that way with most people. We don't really get involved with trying to do anything about it until it really happens to us, and people really don't realize the seriousness.
Do you remember when it happened?
Yes, I do, very well.
Still hurts?
Oh, it always will, yes.
You got a horrible phone call. What time of the day did it happen?
12:35. I'm sorry, 1:30. The accident happened at 12:35.
In the daytime?
No,
at night.
At night.
You got the phone call. It has to be met at that time probably with, what, a little disbelief? Is this really happening to me?
Yes, of course. You just completely fall apart. You know, you try to deny the whole thing could be possible.
You've lost a son due to somebody driving while intoxicated. In court, did you see the person who was guilty of this?
Yes.
Animosity?
Yes.
Judy, from your standpoint, did you meet the person who crippled your cousin?
No, I did not.
So you've never seen this person?
No, there were no criminal charges brought because the investigation was rather bungled. And...
Whoa. What, no criminal charges involved?
No criminal charges were filed.
A person driving a vehicle while intoxicated?
That's correct.
The person went scot-free?
Yes, he was driving the company vehicle, and they had $90,000 worth of insurance, and that's all that my family was able to collect.
But no conviction?
No conviction.
Do you know whether that person has had any conviction since that time, driving while intoxicated?
No, I do not.
What would you say, Jane, to the person out there watching today that has no feeling one way or the other? Say, okay, that's tough. You've lost a member of the family. And driving while intoxicated, I know I can get behind the wheel of a car. I don't have any problem with that. What would you say to that person?
Well, I would just ask everybody to think about the seriousness of it, you know, and have people to think about what they're doing if they're drinking or if they've had too much to drink, to realize that they are not capable of handling an automobile. And unfortunately, most people think they're perfectly capable of driving after they've had too many drinks. They don't realize, you know, to what level of intoxication they are.
Do you have any more children?
Yes, I have two.
Two. What do you have?
I have two other boys.
Two boys?
I have three boys.
Three boys.
I lost my middle child.
In just a moment, we're going to be taking a break, and I want to come back and let's talk about what the goals that MAD would like to accomplish, what needs to be done, how people at home can help, how maybe the courts can help. I know that you're getting a great deal of support from Judge George Allen and from Vic Bazell in this area, and maybe we can get other people to give you strong support to help fight that drunk driver and maybe get the containers out of the car while they're driving as well. It is coming up 20 minutes now until 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. Stay tuned now for the news and the weather right after this.
Enjoy the beautifully decorated and historically accurate trees of Christmas located throughout Richland Mall this holiday season. Each tree depicts the customs, themes, and traditions of 16 countries from around the world. Trees, caroling, Santa, great gift ideas. It's all part of the world of Christmas at Richland Mall.
Richland Mall, the people-pleasing place. Richland Mall.
You need tough, dependable equipment on the job site, and Kubota's L-Series gives you just that. Water-cooled diesels with 23 to 36 horsepower. Power and versatility make the L-Series a top choice for farming, maintenance, and construction applications. Available shuttle shift transmission gives you easier operation, and the Kubota name ensures world-famous performance. Don't overlook the tough B8200. It can handle your construction needs, too.
8.5% interest on Kubota tractors at Cutler Equipment Company Waco and Farm Equipment Company Temple. Get another bold offer from Curtis Mathis. No down payment on a wide selection of Curtis Mathis products. That means no payment until 1985. Color portables as low as $299.95 with trade. 25-inch diagonal color consoles as low as $499.95 with trade. And 25-inch diagonal color consoles with remote control for $699.95 with trade. Curtis Mathis VCRs for $599.95. Remember, no down payment and no payment until 1985 at Curtis Mathis of Copper's Cove.
Positive Feed has done it again. You know the 50-pound PF blocks, they become a tradition in cow country. And now Positive Feed also comes in a 250-pound and a 500-pound block. The 250-pound block is portable, goes anywhere, comes in a roll-round returnable tub. No waste ever, and that's a promise. Positive Feed blocks, the low-moisture, high-energy, 75% natural protein blocks. Competitors can't match that. PF, the natural choice.
The time now is 6:42 and time to check in with Tom Steiner for the latest in sports.
Well, it certainly wasn't pretty, but San Diego outdueled the NFL's best defensive team. The Chargers won their first Monday night game in 3 tries this season, beating Chicago 20-7. With the Bears leading by a point in the third quarter, the Chargers could have jumped out ahead, but wide receiver Bobby Duckworth, on his way toward the end zone, fumbled the ball, and Chicago had it back. Later, though, in the fourth quarter, the speedy Duckworth made sure he didn't drop the ball, hauling in an 88-yard pass from Ed Luther for the game winner. Despite the win, San Diego out of playoff contention, while the NFC Central Division leading Bears still hoping for home field advantage in the playoffs. At the baseball winter meetings in Houston, no major trades yet. So far, new Commissioner Peter Uberoth has stolen the show. An issue sure to meet resistance being discussed, the use of superstations. Uberoth thinks the cable TV giant's harmful to the game.
First, they're basically unfair. Someone bought a ball club. They have an area that's their fans and theirs to promote. And if a superstation comes into that area and even does higher ratings than the local team on television, as happens in many, many cities in America, there's a basic unfairness, and it's tearing baseball apart.
Just one game in the NBA, Seattle tore apart Phoenix 108-96 the final. Jack Sikma with 29 points. Tom Chambers had 28. To the NHL, Dave Poulin notched a pair of goals to lead Philly past the slumping New York Rangers 6-2. Mats Naslund scored 4 goals as the Canadiens coasted to an easy 9-3 win over Hartford. Boston tied Quebec at 3, and the Islanders nipped Vancouver 5-4. College basketball scores: number 2 DePaul, no problems with Chico State, 77-37. Number 8 Washington hung on to beat Texas Tech in double overtime, 59-57. 11th ranked NC State stopped Hartford 83-46. Number 13 LSU over Texas 87-79. 16th ranked Virginia Tech toppled Maryland Eastern Shore 91-46. And number 20 North Carolina downed Howard 77-63. Tom Steiner, CNN Sports.
Many people make decorations during the holiday season, but a Dallas chef has made some that could melt in your mouth. Tony Clark reports.
Is that white sticky stuff Chef Robert Schwartz is molding into Santa's workshop? It's the tool of his trade. Butter, puffed pastry shortening to be precise, 1 ton of it.
It's similar to working with clay. You do have to work with it quite a bit faster because the temperature, the heat from your hand would actually start to melt it.
Schwartz has been working on Santa and his helpers for months, molding each of the elves, Santa and his sleigh, out of the shortening.
It's a highly emulsified shortening used in the pastry shop, and it's designed to be stored at room temperature. And it would take temperatures of upwards of 140 before it started to get real soft and started to slide off of the structure.
What he's made is the world's largest butter sculpture, 10 feet high, 12 feet across, and 6 feet deep. There's enough shortening there to equal 8,000 sticks of butter.
I've never seen nothing like it. I like to see if I can put my finger in and see if it melts.
It's amazing, really. I've never seen anything like it. It smells really good.
It's hard to pass by Santa's workshop without taking a peek in the window and, if no one's looking, finding out for yourself. Is it really butter? Tony Clark, CNN, Dallas.
Pretty creative there.
How about that?
So, weather-wise, more rain.
Yeah, it looks like lots of rain, 80 to 100% chance, so it doesn't look like we're going to be able to dodge this bullet, and it will last right on into tomorrow. Occasionally, Kathy, mixing with a little bit of snow for tonight, but we don't expect any accumulations. Harsh winter-like conditions, though, have prompted stockman's advisories to be posted for our hill country sections. The accumulating snow will stay up in the panhandle, but again, some of that rain tonight may be mixing with a little bit of snow, but we don't anticipate any driving problems or any accumulating snow in our own area. In the meantime, this morning, temperatures are, of course, well above freezing. We are seeing at the moment about 43 degrees right now in Waco, and make that 40, 43 in Temple, and 46 degrees in Killeen. The relative humidity is at 83%. The barometer, 20 inches of mercury, has fallen in the last hour. And the winds are right where we thought they'd be, out of the east-northeast, 11 miles an hour. The wind chill factor is about 28 degrees this morning, so it does feel chilly with the wind and the clouds and the rain in the area. TX Superweather Radar continuing to indicate rain widespread across central Texas in most sections of the state. Particularly heavy activity has been off to the south, now to the northeast of Austin, and all of it's generally moving on towards the east. And we're watching rain on back up in the northwestern sections of the area. And as we look at the Texas map, it's not only rain in central Texas, it's rain all over the eastern part of the state. Moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and from the Pacific out of the southwest is overrunning the cool air at the surface, and the result is this rainy sort of pattern that's developed in the eastern part of the state, and it'll continue throughout much of the day tonight and tomorrow, gradually clearing for tomorrow night. But the bad news is that another such overrunning pattern is beginning to evolve, and by Friday and Saturday we may very well be back into the rain. In the meantime, this morning the snows are staying up around Wichita Falls and Childress, maybe up towards Pampa. Amarillo is not reporting any snow, and the snows are extending back up into southern Kansas, where some of the heavier snowfall is occurring. 33 degrees now in Amarillo, the cold spot in the state. 54 at Corpus Christi, one of the warmer locations. 40s in all of the eastern part of the state. And the temperatures you just saw there are really going to represent the kind of temperatures we'll expect today. There's not going to be much of a warm-up. Matter of fact, we've plotted 48 for Waco, and that's a little bit optimistic. We're at 40 now, and anywhere from 45 to 48 degrees is where we'll be for this afternoon. The Panhandle should remain below the freezing mark throughout much of the day, and of course with that the possibility of some accumulating snow up there. 50s and 60s meantime for the lower coast. For tonight we'll be watching the freeze line. We think it'll be somewhere in the hill country sections, 26 for Abilene, but about 35 degrees for Waco. And with that line out there somewhere, the freezing line, we'll expect perhaps some snow to create some harsh winter-like conditions back in the western part of the state. But again, the accumulating snow is going to be on up into the Panhandle. We'll see perhaps rain mixed with a little bit of snow, but all of it's non-freezing, as the temperatures will be in the mid and upper 30s for tomorrow morning. Well, nationally, what we continue to see is most of the snow in the northeast, with the heaviest accumulations up around Holton, Maine, about a foot there, and the snows are continuing back in the lakes region. Still some travelers advisories all the way down into Pennsylvania for that, and the coldest temperature this morning in the country is about 5 degrees below zero at Williston, North Dakota. Much of the action's down here in the south central part of the plains. High pressure continues to give a dry pattern across much of the country, but on tonight's forecast map, notice that it will all be down here. We'll expect the accumulating snows in the panhandle, a mixture of rain and snow for us. The rains will continue on into tomorrow, and then by tomorrow night we'll look for the rain to gradually move eastward. Cloudy skies for Thursday, and then we'll look for the rain once again to develop Friday with a new system working its way out west. So this is what it looks like for today. We'll continue to call for just lots of rain, 80% chance of it, temperatures in the 40s, dropping down to 35 tonight, some of that rain mixed with snow. Stockman's advisories are out for our hill country sections. Rain will be ending late in the day tomorrow, cloudy skies, temperatures will remain cool, 45 degrees for the high temperature for tomorrow. So that's our cold weather forecast. We'll continue to watch the situation for you. In the meantime, Good Morning Central Texas will continue in a moment.
Get your Nakonas on and come to the Western Fair in Lott, Texas, and register to win this new custom-painted Ford pickup to be given away December 22nd by the Nakona Boot Company and the Western Fair. While there, register to win this Wrangler go-kart, 2 bikes by BMX, and 5 radios. Drawing December 8th, 1 3-wheeler, 2 bikes, and 5 radios drawing December 15th. And the Ford pickup, 2 bikes, and 5 radios drawing December 22nd at the Western Fair in Lott, Texas.
Hey, you think he'll miss the sleigh? Nah, he didn't last year.
Of all the places to shop for Christmas toys, the place to save is Target.
Hey, somebody hit the lights.
This week, save on the Fisher-Price tape recorder, only $33.92. And Mattel's Chatty Patty is just $17.82 with mail-in rebate, $14.82. So for all kinds of toys at prices to fit even the smallest of budgets, the place to save is Target. Shop extended holiday hours.
Cattlemen, Evergreen's got a convenient new jumbo block, guaranteed to perform to your satisfaction. New Energy Block 25 with P&P. It has higher levels of total protein and fat and provides complete nutrition with pasture. And P&P helps cattle better utilize the protein, so you get more food value for your dollar. Try Evergreen's new Energy Block 25 with P&P.
In Waco, your Evergreen dealer is Busby Feed and Seed in Moody. See Moody Farm Products.
10 minutes till 7 now on this Tuesday morning, December the 4th, 21 days away from Christmas. Unless I forget it, I'd like to wish for each and every one of you a happy holiday. And I hope nobody in your family is injured due to somebody drinking and driving. We're talking to Jane Wood and to Judy Butler. They are members of MAD. Jane happens to be the president, and Judy is the vice president. Jane, you obviously have goals with your organization for the Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Yes.
What's your #1 objective? What do you want to do?
Well, we're going to push for the open container law. At first, I didn't take that seriously, and I knew there were a lot of people that were against it. But Vic Vazell had brought that to light to me when he was talking at one of our meetings about people driving down the road and popping open beer cans and drinking going down the road.
They can drink right out of the state of Texas out of a whiskey bottle.
Yes, well, any kind of alcoholic beverage. But the thing is, you're driving down the road and you're drinking. How are you going to know when you reach the intoxication level, which is 0.10% blood alcohol concentration?
Judy, from your standpoint, what are some of the other priorities you're looking at?
We're going to speak before the public at any possible, whenever we possibly can, for Rotaries, Kiwanis, Lions, Junior League, whoever will listen to us, to discuss the problems of sentencing, probation, and parole.
Are you getting a positive reception from these groups as you talk to them?
We have not been able to. We're still in the forming stage.
Oh, that's right. We forgot to establish. You are just now organizing locally. And that brings up, so you have a couple of phone numbers. Let's give those right now. If you would get a pencil and paper and write these down. If you'd like more information on how you can participate in Mothers Against Drunk Driving, the two numbers are 752-1345, 752-1345, or 852-8470. 852-8470. Jane and Judy, are these personal numbers, home phone numbers here, or what?
They are.
They are your home phone numbers.
Right.
And you don't mind having, obviously, people give you a call at home, and let's get involved with this. If these clubs, have you contacted them? I think with most of the clubs in the area would probably be delighted to have you come speak to them.
We're getting to that point. We're trying to establish a speakers bureau right now. And until we have some other people that have volunteered to speak before these groups, we're going to have our hands tied, just briefly. But we have some volunteers. Bernie Fazell has said that she would be more than happy. She's also a member. She said she would be happy to speak. I will be speaking. Jane will be speaking. And we have some other people from the research committee that will also be speaking before these groups.
Well, when you talk to people just personally, have you found anybody that just says, oh, I'm not interested, big deal, doesn't mean anything to me? Have you been plagued with that?
No, we have not.
Good.
We're getting a lot of public interest, a lot more than we realized we would.
Jane, have you found out that that there are more people that have had similar circumstances, such as you and Judy, that all of a sudden have found somebody that you can get together and at least, if not comfort each other, fight against all of this?
Yes, we have. We encounter this quite often, and this is one of the things our chapter wants to get into is victim services, to help others who have been through the same tragedies we have.
Did you get a lot of support from the police or other officials when all this happened?
Yes, we did. I think that it's more so that way now than it was back when my son was killed, but that is improving.
So please get involved. Let us once again give you the phone numbers. They're going to be working for legislation and things that could save your life or a member of your family's life. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, the two phone numbers once again are 752-1345 or 752-8470. We'll leave those up for just a moment to give you a time to write them down. And we know that on television it's not all that easy to remember phone numbers, but if you would, those could be important to every member of your family. To you, Jane Wood, and to you, Judy Butler, we wish you the very best. I think you'll find people in this area will give you a lot of support. The President, Vice President of Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the abuse of families during holidays. Not a pleasant subject, but unfortunately, those things happen. It is now 5 minutes until 7 o'clock.
Hey, what's the problem?
My car doesn't work either.
We'll take it for a test drive.
Really?
Vroom, vroom. Sounds like the transmission. Same problem as your dad's.
Can you fix it?
Sure, we're experts. We can fix any car. Foreign, too.
At AMCO, we care as much about people as we do transmissions. It's what we call AA service, and it's why we fix more transmissions than anyone else.
It's fixed.
You get AA service at AA MCO.
Antron nylon, made by Galaxy Carpet Mills and featured by Waco Discount Carpet Company, has the beauty and affordability you're looking for. Made of 100% filament nylon, a heat-set yarn that will maintain its original appearance longer, with Action Back, a totally synthetic backing that won't mold or mildew. Antron by Galaxy can be seen in full rolls at Waco Discount Carpet's huge warehouse for your selection and immediate delivery. Waco Discount Carpet, 4535 West Waco Drive.
It's now 4 minutes before the hour, recapping this morning's headlines. Death aboard a hijacked Kuwaiti airliner. Iran says hijackers killed one person and wounded a second in a fight aboard the craft diverted from Kuwait to Tehran this morning. More than 160 people were aboard the jetliner. And talks between striking teachers and the school board resume in Chicago this afternoon. Despite word of progress in overnight talks, there'll be no school for a second day for 430,000 students. Let's take a last-minute look at today's rainy weather.
Yeah, awfully rainy, Kathy, for today and tonight and tomorrow. We'll be out of it for Thursday, but probably back in it for Friday and Saturday. So it's a rainy and cool sort of climate. 40s right now. It'll stay in the 40s all day today, and the radar continues to indicate rain in the area, and we'll continue to watch for rain throughout much of the day. Glancing at the forecast one more time, an 80% chance of rain is what we're calling for today, with a high of 48, and that's a little bit optimistic. 45 to 48 degrees is what we'll be calling for. Tonight, some of that rain may be mixed with snow, especially the hill country country section, Stockman's advisory is out. We'll see 35 degrees. Snow will not accumulate, and I don't think it'll be that significant, though it may be mixing with the rain a little bit. And then the rain will end late Wednesday, but cloudy skies for most of tomorrow, northerly winds only up to about 45 degrees, and we just went from summer to winter, and I don't think we passed fall.
I hope everybody enjoyed the nice weather last week.
While it lasted.
You definitely. Thanks, Larry. And thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for the CBS Morning News up next. Larry and I will see you again at noon on Region 10 News Magazine. So until then, have a good day.